everyone, this is Tom from Dirk Witte Music Store in Utrecht, the Netherlands. And today we are taking a look at a brand new Fender electric guitar from a brand new line of the American Professional Classic line. So we've got this guitar in, and we also got another guitar sitting right over there for another video. Also will be posted really soon. But this is a Fender American Professional Classic Jazzmaster in a Dakota red finish and with a rosewood fingerboard. Mint green guard, very classic look. So this new line, I assume, is kind of like a really cool blend between like vintage style, vintage inspired with some modern tweaks, but nothing too major. So no like push pulls or anything, or no noiseless pickups or things like that, but a little bit more minor tweaks. With the Jazzmaster, that is a little bit more than minor, because we are lacking one really iconic thing of the Jazzmaster that a lot of people, by the way, don't use, so that is why that was then removed. But resulting in just a really fantastic line of new electric guitars, which are incredibly high quality and they feel amazing. They also look really fantastic, just a very classic look, obviously. I am really digging this Dakota red color matched with that rosewood board, mint green guard, but then with some minor modern features and tweaks. So let's dive into the specs. So we have got an alder body underneath this Dakota red finish, which by the way is a little bit more on the subtle side, or like on the softer side. Sometimes Dakota red can be quite bright, but this one is more so, I don't know, maybe I would like more so describe this as Fiesta red. We actually had a Dakota red Music Master not too long ago, but that was like from 1966. And that one was like quite bright red, but this one is a little bit more subtle and a little bit more soft on the eyes. What I do know is that it looks fantastic. I'm really digging this look, obviously in the classic Jazzmaster body shape with the belly contour over there and the offset shape. Then got the pick guard, mint green guard, obviously with your classic Jazzmaster pickups, which are then some Coastline 1965 Jazzmaster pickups. So I'm guessing that the Coastline line of pickups is also then new for this model, because they are also in that guitar over there, which is not a Jazzmaster, by the way, but they also are named Coastline. So I'm guessing that all of these guitars get like a new line of vintage inspired pickups. So these are then like voiced to sound like 1965 Jazzmaster pickups, and they sound really great. What we are then missing, like I said at the beginning, is the dark circuit or the rhythm circuit, because normally you'd have two circuits in a Jazzmaster. You'd have the normal one over here, which is just a 3A pickup selector switch and just a normal volume and a normal tone control, and then a dark circuit or a rhythm circuit, which would then the idea of that was that it will be more suited to play like rhythm or even like bass lines, but a lot of people do not use that, or did not use that back in the day, and they do not use that nowadays. So that was then removed on this line of Jazzmasters. Most people will probably be okay with that, but other more traditionalists, maybe this is not the right line for you, because you are missing a classic part of a Jazzmaster. But if you only use this type of circuit, then you are not missing out on anything. But yeah, this circuit, like I said, is just pretty standard. You've just got a 3A pickup selector switch for each of your Jazzmaster pickups. So neck, both on, or your bridge. Then the master volume and the master tone control. But what is cool is that this circuit features a grease bucket tone system. What does that mean? That means that if you roll back the tone, you do not get like this bassy like effect. What tends to happen is you roll down the tone control on a lot of electric guitars is that it gets overly like boomy and like muddy. Oftentimes it just gets way too boomy and low end-ish, which is then not the case with this unique type of a circuit, the grease bucket tone system. So you do then retain a little bit more of a clarity as you roll down the tone, without again that all of that bass then added that oftentimes a lot of people don't really need. So that is actually a very cool feature. Got your traditional style of a drum system with your traditional style of bridge. And to be like more specific, these are this is a Jazzmaster bridge with some Mustang saddles, so they are not like the knurled type of saddles that are like threaded, but these are the more stable Mustang style of saddles, which also then rocks back and forth as you use the trim, which obviously you then use over here. Obviously you also get the trim arm included that you then put in over here, and you can also lock it with this little switch right here. Plug it in over here, also there on the front. And then moving on to the neck. That is a maple neck with a modern C profile. So quite common profile to see on newer style of Fender guitars, unlike more modern models. Very much medium size, a little bit on the thinner side, so like medium to slim I would say. And just nicely rounded, definitely a C shape with your skunk stripe over there on the back, and then a roasted fingerboard. What's also a little bit more of a modern spec is the radius, because that is 9.5 inches as opposed to the 7.25 inches, which may not always be the best for bends if you do a lot of bends. So that is a little bit more modern. You also get an extra fret, so you got 22 frets instead of 21. And then the nut, that is a synthetic bone nut that is cut really well, and it looks very, very classic. And the headstock also looks very, very classic with your Fender Jazzmaster decal over there, along with your single string tree. And these tuners are like vintage style tuners, so they definitely look the part, but they are also then staggered. So I would assume that it goes down just a little bit, like the low E string tuner is a little bit taller than the high E string tuner. So that meaning that it is like staggered in order to help with your break angle, but you then also still get the string tree over here. And then last thing to mention, it actually comes with a gig bag instead of a hard shell case, which is to a lot of people probably a lot more practical instead of like a bulky hard shell case. But you then also get obviously some case candy included, so some tools and some paperwork, as well as your trim arm that you install over here. And yeah, that is pretty much all that there is to cover of this brand new Fender American Professional Classic Jazzmaster. Really cool Jazzmaster, very classic as the name says, but with some more modern friendly type of features and tweaks that I'm sure that a lot of people will love and dig very, very much. Plays and sounds really, really great. Very classic Jazzmaster, again with those classic Jazzmaster tones that we all know and love. So yeah, let's move on to that part and let's hear what this actually sounds like. But first, if you're interested in this brand new Fender American Professional Classic Jazzmaster in a Dakota Red finish, be sure to head over to the links in the description for further details. If you enjoyed this demo, be sure to like the video and to subscribe to the channel for more cool weekly demos of cool electric guitars like these, or cool acoustics, bass guitars even, all of that really cool stuff. Also be sure to like us and follow us on the socials, Instagram and Facebook. Links are also in the description. With all that being said, let's hear what this brand new Fender American Professional Classic Jazzmaster sounds like. Going to be playing it through this late 1970s Fender Pro Reverb. First we're playing the clean tones, and then I'll be playing you the dirty tones, for which I will be using a non-horsey clone. So let's move on to that part and let's take this really cool brand new Jazzmaster for a spin.